I mean, like, didn't bother to take any hits, don't bother to fucking even do gens half the time. But like, you're giving them a reason to keep tunneling because they know that you're not gonna do shit whilst they tunnel that person so they can get somebody out of the game whilst nothing's being done. And for all they know, the only person who would do anything is the person that they're already chasing. So they know for a fact that nothing's going to get done, and it just incentivizes them to keep tunneling. Yeah. Whereas, if while someone is getting tunneled, you absolutely bum rush the ever-loving shit out of generators, it's gonna make the killer want to tunnel less, because then they're gonna want to stop you from doing the gens. Now that being said, of course sometimes the killer will tunnel somebody just because they're really easy to catch, which sucks, but, you know, not much you can really do about it. But that's not usually the case. He was kind of camping from the seams of it. Because I couldn't even get over there without him immediately being like, hello, bitch. She DC'd. Or like, for example, when someone gets an unhook, right? And then makes no effort to be the one chased by the killer and then wonders why the killer goes for the person that's easier to find, which happens to be the person who's bleeding, right? Because they just got off hook. And it's like, again, yes, tunneling is not good, you really shouldn't do it, but it is an incentive to do so. The fact that you know the person's already injured, you know that you've already hooked them too, which means you have more hook progress on them, so it's like, why not, right? Yeah. Exactly. But see, those are the people you don't want to tunnel, are the ones that are constantly trying to get your attention, because you know that they are good enough to hold you for a bit if they're trying that hard to get chased. Instead, what you do is you go for everybody else and just have them keep following you, because then you know for a fact that they're not doing anything productive. Like, anytime I tunnel, it's simply because I know for a fact that either one, the person who I could chase alternatively is in an area where I won't be able to get them for a significant amount of time, or two, in a situation where they're just gonna follow me anyway. So it's like, well, two birds, one stone. You have both survivors occupied, you know they're not doing shit. And she's killing herself. See, that's another thing too, when survivors like kill themselves or like put themselves on second hook and then wonder why the killer tunnels them. Like, that's your own fault at that point. You literally chose to basically fucking off yourself. Yeah, exactly. It's almost funny how fucking like just stupid people are, because it's like you complain so hard that the killer did this or that, but like you literally gave them the reason to do it. Like, you basically fucking told them, oh, you should tunnel me. Like, why would the fuck would they not at that point, you know what I mean? Or like, for example, chasing after the killer all match with the flashlight. I used to do that, personally, because I found it fun. Like, I didn't really complain about losing at that point, because I enjoyed chasing people around with a flashlight. But people who do that all match and then complain that they lose are people who are weird. Because it's like, how are you going to do something that literally does nothing but waste time in most occasions, and yet complain that you lose? Mhm. Exactly. Now, that's why I love custom games personally, is because the people I play with, my friends, are all people who understand how this game works for the most part. And although, yes, may occasionally complain about tunneling, they usually aren't doing something that deserves to get them tunneled. Plus, I mean, I guess it is a custom game, so like, you don't really need to try hard in a custom game, because it's not like you get anything out of it anyway other than experience. But like, you don't even get like experience points, you just get better in general. Especially because you could be versing people at a higher level than what you would be in public matches, because maybe your MMR is lower than whatever theirs is, right, on whichever side you're playing. So then of course you're learning at that point, which is useful. But yeah, you're not gonna like get blood points, you're not gonna get like XP, you're not gonna get any of that shit, so it's not like you're actually getting anything other than just learning more about the game, which you could realistically do just by watching YouTube. Or watching Twitch. Or even just going into a fucking bot match, basically, and just playing by yourself. Like, even with this doctor, like, I mean, he tunneled the shit out of the Meg, so you can call him a bitch for that. But, like, when it comes to the Yui, she completely deserved it. She put herself on tier 2 and then got tunneled because why the fuck not? You're dead now. Like, why would he not do that? Especially when you know it's a killer who likes to tunnel, why would you make it easier for them to do that? Like, they're going to tunnel you anyway. So instead of making sure you have 2 more hooks, you make it so that you don't have any, and that you'll just die immediately because, well, you're mad that they're tunneling. But, like, you're not harming them by killing yourself, you're harming yourself. Especially because if you didn't do good enough in the match, you are very likely to negative pip. Whereas if you run the killer long enough, you'll at least blank pip. In most situations, I guess. Unless you're Eerie, and in which case, maybe not. But even then, like, it's still possible. Yeah, so have I. I've whooped this guy's ass, but the issue is, there are only 2 of us. So we literally have to go back and forth, very slowly doing gens, because we don't have our other 2 teammates who decided to die. I mean, I guess the Meg didn't really decide to. You can't really blame her, she did get tunneled. But the Yui, like, even just with the Yui at this point, we'd have 2 people on gens right now. Yeah, I don't really DC very often. And when I do, it's usually because my teammates are absolute dumbasses or because the killer is so incredibly laggy that it's not fun to play against. That looks so goofy because I fucking screamed as I was jumping in the hatch, so it like I just stood on top of it. Exactly.